Our first guest has over 130,000 subscribers, over 30 million views, formerly a leading figure on one of the biggest channels in sports media. But he's also not just those things. He's a getaway driver. He's a prankster. He gets hay fever on a daily basis. He's a father. He's a friend. He's a face in the scene for 7.5 years. He is the founder of one of the leading sports shows, pre-recorded and live, in the last 5 years in the Big Six. This is, ladies and gentlemen, Turkish LDN.
Come on, bro.
How you doing, brother?
That's a mad intro. Love. I'm good, man. I'm good. Listen, I'm better now hearing that intro. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, we have to gas you up, man, because you were on my screen when I was out of this industry, when I wasn't involved. I was just watching fan cams outside, the Allianz Arena and whatnot. So I was living life back then. Yeah. Not so much now. But how are you, man? You good?
I'm all good, can't complain. Things are going well. Blessed to be doing what I'm doing, talking football. Would be doing that regardless of it, being the bread and butter or not. That's what I've grown up on, talking football. So, I'm doing good, feeling good, blessed, and that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, and we've actually got some Turkish tea.
Yeah.
Turkish spilling the tea, Turkish tea, tea with Turkish, all these things. I've never tried it before, but we had to make you feel at home. I hope we've done that. You know what I mean?
You've chosen a very nice. This is called a chai danluk.
Okay.
Can you say it?
Chai danluk?
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, is that all right?
Because
I'm terrible at pronouncing.
No, that's good. Chai danluk is simple.
Wow, and it looks lovely. We was just saying it will look lovely in the Big Six house, wherever that is. The viewers get very confused. And I'm going to try this for the first time. So I put a cube of sugar in there.
Yeah,
let's cheers to this.
In my opinion, you have to put a cube of sugar at least. It's strong.
Is it strong?
But
okay.
It's nice.
Let's see.
Go for it.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Every time you introduce me to Turkish cuisine, because we do go to Turkish restaurants an awful lot.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
as much as Tobes fights against it.
We're in London. There's a lot of us here. The food bangs.
Yeah.
When you go, you eat well.
Yeah.
You eat good.
Steve
Protein
loves it
in abundance.
Yeah.
So everyone's happy apart from Tobes, who after stuffing his face and getting takeaway, starts moaning about we've gone Turkish again. Like we can't keep on doing this.
Yeah.
Last time out, he chose where to go.
Yeah.
Where do we end up?
Turkish.
That's
again.
It. He's just a moaner in general. But what can I say?
Yeah.
What can I,
Nobody kicks up a fuss but him. Steve loves it. Grizz loves it. Saeed eats. Everybody eats.
Tob loves it. He loves it the most.
It's a platter.
That guy there, I'm telling you, every week he's there.
Yeah.
At least once a week, whether it's with us, the missus, himself, he's getting that protein in at a Turkish restaurant.
Absolutely. And actually, with the tea and with the cuisine, who makes this the best, actually, the tea? Would it be yourself? Would it be a family member?
Oof, my mum probably.
Yeah?
That's what I grew up on. My mum. My dad just chilling in the living room and my mum keep on going back and forth until I was of age to be the one that gets called from upstairs to come downstairs to get his tea and, or empty glass now and go fill it up again.
Wow.
But that's the traditional way.
That is traditional.
I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, my mum.
Will you have your son soon making tea like this? What age are you having to make this? And what age are you allowed to drink that? From the get-go?
You're allowed to drink this whenever.
From the very start?
Whenever, man. Whenever, the palate's ready for it. You test the waters. I haven't tested it with Zekai yet.
Yeah.
But, Zekai, I drink English breakfast tea as well. Obviously more commonly because it's not just in the morning you wake up and put the chai danluk on and stuff. It's, it's a bit it's more special.
There's levels to this,
It's more special. So he's had a bit of my tea before. And I know, obviously caffeine's not good for you. And nor is sugar, and the kids have sweets and so on. Yeah. But he's tasted it and he's wanted more. I've just been like, be easy, little man. You're already a wild one, So I don't need any other substances in these drinks to cause any more, issues at bedtime.
You give him his Lego like you always say to me, and he's set. Do you know what I'm saying?
He bangs out in like 45 minutes and then he's asking me for more. Like he doesn't know the meaning of money, obviously.
No.
Like we didn't when we were young. Like when our mums and dads were telling us, we work hard for this.
Yep.
So he bangs it out too quick for my liking. I buy him 8+-year-old Legos.
And they could get expensive.
What?
Very expensive. I remember when I was with you in the shop. Where was we? We was in South Africa.
Yeah.
And you was in the shop there in the Lego store. just scanning, like
spend £100.
Yeah, literally just going through each. What has he already got? What hasn't he got? Trying to make sure that you got your son covered. He goes and finishes it just like that, and then the next one onto the next.
He's probably done most of the Minecraft ones. I can't lie to you. He's waiting on a new drop. He knows how to go into the Lego app, and then he sees coming soon, and then he's like, "Dad, this is the one I want. It's coming January." He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Listen, be easy, but listen, it's a blessing. Like I said, blessed at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest part of why.
Yeah, that's quality though, because you know in this day and age with this generation, necessarily playing with Lego or going to play outside with your friends and all the accidents and all the fun that comes along with that, you don't really tend to see that these days. Technology and all those things. So the fact that that's what he's focused on is quality. But let me ask you, because I guess we'll start with the exterior that is Turkish, because a lot of people that watch this, they won't know you as well as I do, but they'll see a kind of mystical figure. Like there's a hazy eye there. There's a smoke somewhere there. There's a calm, very collected, composed individual, but also someone that if you look into their eyes, you see, I don't cross that man. I don't cross that man. If I don't, that man's ready to step if need be. If the line has to be crossed for the ones he loves, he definitely will cross it, I'm sure. So at what point in your life would you say, did that character just get set in stone? Or was you always like that when you was younger?
The different things fell into place at different times, I think, when I look back on it, I didn't get the questionnaire or the question sheet before the show, by the way. So everything's off the top. You did ask me if there's anything you can't
off the
ask me,
table.
And I said, ask me and I'll tell you at the time.
Exactly.
But things fell into place at different times. In terms of right now, a lot of people might describe me as confident because I'm speaking in front of a camera. That took a little while. That probably took longer than some other things. I've always been, I'll call it a hustler, even though it's got negative connotations. The meaning is, making money, whether that's in a stockroom at Next or whether that's a store manager at Ladbrokes. I'll name some of the roles I've had.
Yeah.
Or whether that's, using your initiative and doing what you need to do in the situation you're in. I've always had that. Like in school, I was selling CDs. I think I mentioned it on the first thing we done. Maybe not. I can't remember. We've
leveled up since then. It looks much better for you.
Yeah, 100. We should have started with that, to be honest. But we'll get into that at the end. But I've always, I've always tried to make my own way and do my own thing. So that came in earlier. The confidence came in a bit later. Generally, the way I am is probably because of the community I was brought up in. I was brought up in Wood Green, a strong Turkish community. Yeah, very strong black community, Somali on Turnpike Lane, and different cultures. You take different things in the way you up your upbringing.
Absolutely,
being in England too.
Yeah,
as someone with Turkish heritage, so I think things just fell into place at different times. Meeting through different people, different adventures, different ups and downs, as a youth, when there's nothing to really worry about, no bills and no, you haven't really entered life yet. Yeah, probably all those things slowly built across that time, and then over the years, then you just work out life. School doesn't really prepare you for life.
No.
School prepares you for a lot of nonsense, if we're being honest. It does help, for sure. The structure, the socializing part of it, and
routine.
Some lessons, especially year 9, when you can pick your lessons and get a bit more into what you want to do.
Yeah.
But generally, school doesn't prepare you for life. Life, you have to go. Whether there's a silver spoon in your mouth or whether you're grinding it out on the roads, life hits you.
Yeah.
There's no more cushion of school and, not paying your way at home, whether it's rent or whether you're trying to find your own way. So, you well and truly learn when you're 18, I'd say, 18, 19.
Yeah.
I went uni and, that's when you well and truly learn life and everything. Not everything that comes with it, but that's the start of learning everything.
Yeah. Would I be right in saying, obviously, I just know you've had no handouts in life, no silver spoons. Would you say, is there any survival instincts with that hustle and with that graft? Has there ever been moments where it's like rock bottom for you and yourself individually, or was it a collective, family-wise, where you just knew, yo, it ain't sweet right now, or was it just a thing that you just had, just regardless of money? It was just mentality.
No, listen, the best way to put it into perspective, and everyone might, you'll know EMA, Education Maintenance Allowance.
This is my first time hearing of it.
You don't know that. So basically, in my era, there was a time where if you go to a certain number, all your lessons, you get some sort of, I forgot the exact payment every term and whatnot. And there was tiers to it, depending on what your family was making. So I'd get the highest amount. So that was kind of the realization for me, because leading up to that point, I wouldn't say I was getting everything I got, but I got everything I needed to get. Trust me, I wanted this. I wanted those trainers. I wanted that Scale Electrics, which was a racing thing at the time. You won't even know that. I wasn't necessarily getting those, but I was getting what I needed to when I look back, even though I'd moan about things. And then when you see, I'm getting the highest education, that means that my family's in the lowest tier, let's say, or the middle tier, whatever it was at the time. So did I notice it? No. I did, but I guess when you're coming up in communities like one in Wood Green, you're all similar in that community. Wherever you come from, you're similar. Yeah. So it never looked out of place. Once in a while, my bedroom would get something that we're all like, wow, let's play with it. Oh, I wish we had that. Yeah. Then the next person might. Then I might. And so
goes in circles.
Yeah, it just goes in circles once in a while. It wasn't a silver spoon, but at the same time, it wasn't a bad upbringing. It was,
the trenches
I didn't
or anything.
miss anything that I didn't need. Like I said, the traditional upbringing. So when the time was needed for discipline, it would be real discipline, 90s discipline. But again, I know the world's changed now, but I wouldn't change that for the world either.
Yeah. That's interesting, because obviously for me, my role in the ends, so to speak, and I want to get into kind of what your role was in the ends growing up. I would say I was kind of an observer, and I see a little bit of an observer in you. I feel sometimes your silence speaks volumes. If I see you, even on the shows that we do, if you don't say nothing, but I can see you smiling, I can see the little glisten, like, okay, yeah, I know what he's thinking. But me, I was more of an observer. I knew what was going on. I knew what was around me in terms of what my friends were doing, or what my school kind of community was on in different parts of different year groups, but I wasn't involved. What about you? Like, what was your role, would you say, in your teenage years or your early 20s in your friend groups? What kind of friend was you? What kind of person was you in your circles? That kind of thing.
By the age you say 20s, you're saying 21 early.
Yeah.
I matured quite quickly. And that some people might laugh and say, oh, look at your reactions. Are you even mature yet? I mean, in terms of understanding, the life a bit more, the system a bit more, pain, heartbreak a bit more, because I went through this a certain situation with family a few years earlier than that. So by this point, I was the realist friend. And I don't mean that in terms of ranking. I mean that in terms of if you're going through something, or I'm around something, or you ask me my opinion on something, I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't really,
your feelings are...
Yeah, if it hurts you, or it opposes your views on it, or it upsets you, that's not,
your business.
I'm the one that's going to tell you, what it is. Yeah. In my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right every time, but I'm going to give you my opinion regardless of how you feel about it. Because, if I love you as a friend, as a family member, whatever, then I think, in my opinion, that's how I'd like to be answered, received.
Yeah.
Tell me the realist.
Yeah.
The truth. How do you feel? So that's how I deal with people, and that's how I've dealt with them from early.
Yeah.
I didn't go out as much as my friends did in uni. that was a certain social. But by as much, I mean, they'd go out 3 times a week. I'd go out once a week. So enough. That's enough for me. Yeah. Do you get it? So I wasn't the most outgoing. I wasn't the most known. I didn't really like that stuff. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? I didn't like being... I didn't have a Facebook.
Oh, really? You didn't have a Facebook?
No.
I had a Facebook.
I had a MySpace.
I didn't have a MySpace.
When I was 17.
Yeah.
But that's because I was designing for people too.
So you was working? So was you getting paid for it, or...
So obviously having a PC in the late 90s, early 2000s is a benefit, because you're one of the few. So I learned how to design, tutorials and stuff on Photoshop. Yeah. Okay. So I was designing. I done Motivation Music 2, which is a mixtape from Chip, Black the Ripper, and Cookie at the time. Rest in peace, Black the Ripper. I've done a MySpace for a few artists. Yeah. Roll Deep was one of them. I done a MySpace for. This was like, you know.
Mad. MySpace, you know.
Yeah, Chip I did a few more things for at the time.
Yeah.
That was his early days as well. He actually came to my school. He was a few years younger, but his brother was in my class even. So
okay,
there was a few links there that, you know, in the music scene that I started, you know, doing bits and bobs for. And I remember one day one of my designs was in HMV. That was from a rapper called D Clark. I don't know if what he's doing now. This is like 20 years ago. I'm talking 17. He's 28. I'm 37.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's you know, I had that social media, but that was more to hustle. That was more to get something out of it. To find a new avenue, and I let all that go when I went uni, because at that time the traditional upbringing is you must go uni. You know, even though no one's gone uni in the family before, but you must be the first to go, and it's the proud thing.
Was you the first child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were setting the example. You're the oldest.
Basically.
Okay, right. So that comes with pressure.
Yeah. The traditional way is, you know, you want to make sure you follow every step and make, you know, the family happy in the ways they need to be made happy.
Yeah.
And do whatever you need to do on the side whilst making that happen.
Because I'm the oldest of 4, and I would say that pressure's definitely there. But like similar to you, selling like cookies in the playground, selling Lucozades, Kool-Aid was another thing as well. Donuts.
I sold CDs, bro.
This video is brought to you by Final One Standing, football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. Some of you are still going strong, alive and kicking in the original 500k game, but I got myself booted out, knocked out, because Wolves lost at home to Leeds many weeks ago. Larson and Hee-Chan did not even start that game. But I'm going again, and it's personal this time. As you know, I'm part of the panel. I am going into the new game, Beat Robbie Lee. All you've got to do is stay in the game longer than Robbie to win your share of £50,000. Now, some saying it's very easy, but for me, I need Robbie to stay in a little bit longer than most of them. When we do the split, we get to take home just a little bit more. I've said to him already, his reputation is on the line. He's been talking tough, so it's time to humble him. And of course, if you are still part of any other games, you can play this alongside it. The game remains the same. As always, you pick a Premier League team each game week. If they win, you're through. If they lose or draw, you're out. Business as usual. If you fancy your chances, make sure you download the William Hill app, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description to enter the Beat Robbie game. You've got until the 22nd of November, 3 p.m. deadline, and you've got all of the international break to take your time and decide on that pick. Remember, it's 18 plus and UK and Ireland only. Please make sure you gamble aware, gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions do apply, all linked down in the description. That is such a strange one. I've heard of selling food, selling CDs.
It's not your era,
It's not my era.
I had a PC before most people around, because I got circumcised quite late in primary school years, so maybe 8, 9-ish.
Yeah.
And when you get circumcised, it's called a sünnet in Turkish, but you have a party event, family come round, they pin money on you and whatnot. And my mum said a few years later, said, we didn't do that, so do you want a PC instead? And I said, yeah, let me get a PC. And then from there, it was like, what can I do with this PC? You see, you don't know nothing about dial-up and listening to this
cassette tapes.
I'm
aware
like
of.
you're logging into the Matrix when you're trying to.
I'm aware of cassette tapes because I remember getting a cassette tape, wrapping it around my mum's kitchen table, and then her coming into the kitchen and just being like, "What have you just done?" Because once you do that, the cassette tape's finished.
Yeah,
that's all I remember. But I don't remember. Yeah, your time is because how old are you now? You're 37, and I'm 28. Yeah, so there's a sizable gap there.
100%.
Yeah, in terms of nostalgia.
You wouldn't remember that time, man. What we had to deal with. So. Yeah, I rember finding out, if I get another disc drive, I can copy a CD. So if I buy a CD, I can copy that CD. Now, I don't know, if I should be talking about this, but 20 years later, I'm hoping that...
I think my uncle was on this as well.
It's understandable.
I think my uncle was on this as well.
That was a hustle at that time. And then I found that, get a printer, print out the covers. Because someone at school was already doing this. So I thought, how do I do it better? Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I came with the covers, the artwork in color. It's printed, but it's in color artwork with the CD case. I came with the whole... My room was stuck... Blank CDs, CD cases, a printer, and a PC.
So these are the CDs that... Because I'm just relating it to what my uncle was on. These are the CDs that you're copying, and you can have films on these CDs. And
I didn't do films. That was long at that time, bro. You see the dial-up connection? That's why there was this market, because even downloading an album these times... Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Napster, Limewire, BearShare. You don't know nothing. Do you know any
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hope some of the viewers know what I'm talking about.
I've never heard of any of these things that you're saying.
That's how we downloaded stuff in the late 90s, early 2000s, brother. Napster, LimeWire, then BearShare. I think that was probably the 3 common ones them times.
Wow.
And you leave something on, you go sleep, you wake up, you have breakfast, you go to school, you come back, you check it, you might need to go sleep again, and then it might be downloaded.
That's
like, it's not.
That's how it was with GTA
if
5 for me anyway,
house,
to be honest.
If someone calls the house, everything's locked off.
Oh, okay, no.
People can't call the house. And I remember at one time I flipped because I'm waiting for this download. Someone's called the house. I flipped. And I shouldn't be flipping really the way I flipped, innit? I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you've lost your head.
My dad's heard me. That was a moment of discipline right there. Off the back of that.
Yeah.
So that never happened again. But trust me, you don't know nothing about what the internet was when it first really kicked off.
Yeah.
We had to go through some tough times. Bro.
So I want to stick on the tradition and the family kind of setting, because you said that you was a very traditional family. Your dad, he's disciplining when need be. I was more dad, stepdad. You can discipline, but you can't. There's a grey line there. 10 years old, maybe you're a bit too late to start, disciplining like that. But for you,
my dad wasn't my biological dad.
He wasn't your biological dad.
I didn't find that till I was 17.
Wow.
17,
so,
something like that.
So up until 17, you thought he was your biological dad?
Yeah.
So if you don't mind me asking, what happened with your birth dad?
I don't know, man. If I'm honest with you, I wasn't really there. But through stories that, once I found out, and then through different people's opinions of it. And listen, they've tried to make contact since I've been an adult and whatnot.
Yeah.
By they, I mean that side of the family and stuff. But I've got my own opinions about, all I know is that, as far as I know, communication stopped, the visit stopped, and then the rest is history. That's my view of it. And generally, I just feel like because I had the father figure there, regardless of finding out he's not biological, I didn't really care that your dad is who raises you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So by that point, when I found out, I was angry because, shit, like what my mum went through initially and whatnot to deal with that must have been mad. I was sad because my dad that raised me, my dad, I'll still call him, was upset. He was sad that, what will I think?
Yeah.
I was happy knowing that, because me and the father that raised me, we wasn't close like that.
Okay.
We was close enough. It was traditional family, were close enough. But he didn't like football. I love football. He was a karate man. And listen, I got into Wing Chun and I've done karate and, but he was a black belt. Like he was doing
he's
the
proper.
Like he's got that wooden dummy in Ip.1. Like, I don't know if you've seen Ip.1. A lot of IP is Ip.1. One of the biggest kung fu movies ever, basically. Okay. He's got some wooden dummy. My dad's got that dummy, so he's been to Asia to fight, when he was younger. And I think he still goes. We actually don't talk now either. So
oh, really? Mad, okay, yeah.
But it made me happy that even though I wasn't close to him, it was that I appreciate him 20 times more now, because not many people would do that. Do the action of taking care of someone else's youth.
Yeah.
And also making them feel like they are his child. There was never
to the point where you didn't know.
Yeah, there was never a time I said, this guy's not my dad. Even though there was one time I've joked about it in terms of, how did this guy not like football? I love football. What's going on here?
It's not making sense. The maths is not mathing.
It would never really went to that
connect.
That stage. But so that happened. And you see, going back to what you asked me about 2021, and I said, something happened family-wise. This was what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So after this, I just felt, that's the first time I seen my dad cry.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's a bodybuilder, karate man, tough guy, all of this.
Yeah.
So like I said, that was a sad feeling. So I felt so much emotion that I fixed up quick.
Yeah.
And by fixed up, I wasn't a mad child, or I wasn't a mad teenager. I just fixed up in terms of my attitude a bit more.
Okay.
In terms of life.
Oh, you took life more seriously from that point onwards?
Yeah, subconsciously first. And then you look back and say, all right, that's kind of the turning point of it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it then, but then slowly but surely I look back and say, yeah, that was probably one of the biggest moments emotionally. Yeah. Even though I never, it wasn't expressive.
Okay.
It's
internal.
Yeah, I say internal. A lot of people were wondering, do you want to cry? Do you want to see him?
Yeah.
Do you want to find out more? Just like, nah.
Yeah.
I just want to move. I've got my family. I've got my friends.
Yeah.
My life's ahead of me. I'm about to enter the big bad world and all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't really like. Let me
Open
not even,
the
let me not even
box of
fuss about with all
unknown.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I find out that he's got a daughter through another woman, which makes that my half sister, who I haven't met yet.
Okay.
But we've spoken. She lives in Cyprus, North Cyprus, the Turkish side.
Okay.
To be honest, I've been out there. I should have made it happen by now. But yeah, we've made contact, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of what you're saying is very similar on my side, and I wonder like how much of your upbringing and your childhood and your father figure, how much does that kind of impact how you raise your son now, and what parts of your traditional upbringing do you take, and what parts do you leave behind, and how strict can you be? Because I'm guessing because you said you toughened up, right? And I think anyone who watches now and is listening, they can see that tough side of you. Like they can see that you're quite tough in that kind of sense, or at least exterior. But then did he soften you again a little bit and then take you back a little bit in that way? Because I could imagine your son's adorable.
Yeah, probably.
He ain't going to the ends, that's for sure, at the moment.
Nah, man, probably. Again, what I said before, in hand, you look back and look at moments and say, oh, that kind of initiated a change and whatnot. Having my first child, son in particular, well, I say son in particular, but I wanted a son first and then, whatever after, because they've got their older brother. Again, I don't know if that's traditional thinking, but that's just what I wanted.
Yeah.
I look back on it and it did change me somewhat. Like even if you look at me online, I think before that and around that, I was a lot more emotive in and around games, my fan cams and whatnot. But then after that, it was a lot more measured, a lot more analytical. It was first subconsciously, and then it was through, listen, I don't want to be flipping on the internet every week, because of owners that don't give a shit, and my son's eventually gonna, I don't even want to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
That was never the plan.
Yeah.
Let alone, be going down this route, and, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I think I look back at having Zekai, and it's firstly the best moment of my life, easy, nothing will outdo it, only match it, because there is no outdoing it. And a moment where everything changes in terms of every minute of the day is it's about him first.
Yeah.
Me second. Before that, it is about you first. Yeah. And I think until you become a parent, that's when you can realize that yourself, God willing. But yeah, I think from there you just change. Things don't necessarily change around, like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't
Not
change
overnight.
around you. Life still goes on.
Yeah.
It's just that now internally, everything is about him or her. If you have a daughter, and everything, every moment, every move, you're thinking about someone else first. This life. And now Zekai is nearly 5 in January. His character's in. He's talking properly now. He's enjoying school, his first year. I missed 3 years ago, but I'm loving the moment. Yeah. And I can't wait for 3 years later. It's
time flies.
Listen, it's the best thing. Like, I don't recommend becoming a parent just for this feeling. I think you've got to be ready for it. Be able to provide. That's important. You have to be ready to provide.
Literally,
not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. Every illy in the dictionary.
Yeah.
But if you're ready for that, then it's a blessing. And listen, anyone that says what it's like, more often than not, I say I can't explain it because it's inexplicable. The feeling. Yeah. You feel it or you don't. If you'd never have kids, and from my perspective as someone who's felt it, that's unfortunate if you don't.
Really, it's one of a kind.
That's what life's about, no?
Yeah, that's because you're literally building something for him in the future to make his life better. But I guess, and this is actually quite interesting, because with what you experienced when you was younger and where you grew up to maybe where he grows up and where he experiences, do you feel like there's parts that he's going to miss out on, that not the nicer parts, I guess is what I'm saying, the parts that are a little bit more dangerous, or you learn certain things street wise, kind of just mentally, you kind of get checked in a little bit more. Maybe you do go to that secondary school where there's more fights or there's more animosity or whatever, but it kind of shapes and molds who you are as a person, as opposed to things are better because you are providing, you are creating stability, but then they might become softer. Or like how do you balance that?
That's a difficult one because I'm learning, bro. So I might not have, I might have the wrong answer. It's going to be different because he's not being raised in Wood Green. It's not the 90s. It's not Wood Green. Listen, I was raised in Wood Green. My nan in Tottenham, and the main auntie I used to visit in Edmonton. In North London, that's the three main. You're just missing Hackney off your list, and then you would have been. I couldn't be involved in nothing in Wood Green because I'm all over the gaff. Yeah, I'm all over the three main areas outside of the Islington side of North. Yeah. But what was the question? Sorry.
So just I guess the balance of the rough with the smooth. So because you're creating
for myself,
a better life for him.
So number one, I don't live in Wood Green. Sorry. That was important to me. Yeah. Because I feel like. I'm not going to say things have got worse. Things are more publicized now. There's more cameras. Things were bad in the 90s and 2000s, and I'm sure they was in the 70s, 80s too, in a different way. But I just look at, what could potentially become problems in the future, and I try and eliminate that. Yeah. I'm a project manager by trade, by education, by degree, and my career. So project management, you set milestones, in advance. As you should, everyone should be a project. Life is a project. Yeah, it is. Your career is a project. Raising a child is a project. Everything is. So, I look ahead and try and eliminate as much of the risk as possible. And growing up in London now, I just don't think it's, it's sad to say because I loved growing up in London. The community, the multicultural aspect. I came in an era when you knock on doors and see if your friend's in. Yeah. He's allowed to come out. Yeah. But life has changed a lot since then. And for me, taking him out of London was important, which I've done now. Not too far, but I've done what I needed to do in that terms. Now we started school. He's in a safe area. And now I just need to monitor the education side of it. Schools are very different to what we grew up on, what I grew up on. They're teaching very different things now. That I look at and think, why are you talking to kids about certain things that you shouldn't be talking to kids about? Yeah. So I envision that's going to be a problem in the future unless that sorts itself out, which I hope it does, because it's silly to me. Kids, are still being molded to late teens. Let alone primary school and so on. But that's the balance I worry about now. He's definitely not going to be like me in terms of growing up and the experiences, but that's why you have these experiences, in my opinion, because, it's a learning curve that whether it's because I never knew my dad, I'll never leave my kids, which wasn't the initiator for that. Yeah. But it was, it solidified my view of, how can someone do that? Or whether it's, an area with crime or a dodgy area or an area with drug abuse or whatever. Yeah. He's out of that. And that to me makes it a very different life growing up, which is a very big positive. So he's not going to experience the same things I've experienced, but from my perspective, that's why I push myself to where I need to push myself to avoid that. My favorite thing in the world is being on holiday with Zekai. Like I've done it twice now, 3 times.
You get to be a kid again, because even you was talking about Halloween this Friday when we're recording. You're gonna go trick or treating, and obviously you wouldn't go trick or treating without him, because that would just be weird. But
I've never gone trick or treating in my life. Fair. Even when I was a kid, it wasn't.
But now you're probably excited to go because you know how excited he is to go.
He's gassed. He came to me about it, so especially if he comes to me about something, I try and make it happen. Yeah, within reason. If you're a good boy and you listen, of course, and, you do what you need to do. Then I make that happen. So yeah, man, life, everything gets better about life. My favorite thing about life is going on holiday with Zekai. How do I do that? By working hard, doing what I need to do, and being in that position too. So it's gonna be a different life for him. He's visited a few places already for a young kid, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's good, man. I think it's interesting because, like you said about work and juggling family life, work. So you're a provider, you're self-employed, and am I right in saying this is the first time you're completely self-employed in that sense? Where it's like, is there pressure there But then also, how do you switch off? Because you want to make sure you're attentive to your son, you're there mentally paying attention to what is important to him. And there's moments where, okay, financially, he's like you said, when you're growing up, you don't really know about the finances, but you know if dad went to this play or he went to this game, this football match, but then it might clash with work. And then, so you got to kind of juggle it. And I'll be honest, that's when you just spoke about being ready to have a child, that's what I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready to sacrifice work, and because it's my passion, my love to go here, to go and do this, to raise anyone, because that is a sacrifice. You have to juggle that, and you're gonna miss out on some stuff. Yeah,
the biggest sacrifice.
Yeah,
you miss out on a lot of stuff, but you're gonna do a lot of stuff that you can't do without a child. But yeah, I mean the self-employed thing and all that. I went freelance a little while ago. You know, I know everything with AFTV's unfolded recently, but in terms of the self-employed situation, that happened over a year ago. Just because I wanted to just explore my own options and wasn't really happy at that current time in terms of the situation. So, you know, I explored the opportunity with my channel and it's done well. But pressure, I love it. I'm not gonna lie, like. You know, I need it. Yeah. You know, oh, that channel's copying the thing. Okay, what's the next thing? Oh, that one's got a bit more views. Okay, how do we get back above it? I think that, you know, I thrive off that. Yeah. You know, that helps me think of the next thing. So for me, the pressure is something I've dealt with well my whole life. I've had multiple changes. I've never gone backwards, and touch wood on that, pause. But no, on a serious, like, I believe in that. So I've never gone backwards. In my 20s, the trajectory was slower forwards. It's picked up pace in terms of my 30s, but regardless, I've never gone backwards. And off the back of that, I'm confident that I'll just continue doing the same because I've done it without the motivation of a child. Let alone, you know, the pressure that comes on top of that. Yeah. You know, and it's not just pressure on my shoulders, you know, for myself. It's pressure for my shoulders for me, him, family in total, mum, sister, granddad, you know. So, yeah, there is more pressure, but you live with it. Yeah. You know, you need that, I think.
Yeah, just to actually...
Can't get comfortable.
No, that's the one thing in this thing, you can't get comfortable. In this space in particular, it's very congested. There's a lot of people that want to do what we do, and I think every now and then you have to remind yourself that you are living the dream. If you're not a footballer, and we were speaking outside actually prior to recording about the injuries you've had, and you used to kick ball and then obviously not kicking ball anymore. And I think most guys wanted to be footballers, you know, especially if they followed football, they watched it, they played Sunday League. Everybody, I'm going to go and trials for West Ham, and didn't quite work out, whatever, got that knee injury. But then to be talking about football as a career, when really everyone has an opinion. Group chat, like you said, that's where it all started. Top 6, we'll get into it. But yeah, it's the dream and everybody wants to do it. The amount of times you probably get stopped on the street, I get stopped. Oh, how do I get into this, man? How do I get into this space? Oh, it looks so good. It looks so fun. But it is insane. It's mad. Do you feel I don't know what the word is, but do you feel
blessed? Isn't
blessed?
It?
Yeah, blessed is what you used.
A lot because that's what it is, man. Yeah, blessed. Talk about football. I did that before doing this, and I do it after doing this if shit hit the fan. Yeah, you know, and I can no longer do this in living room, in WhatsApp groups, you know, on holidays with friends, family. You're gonna talk about football. So to do it, and it's the sole provider of what I need or anyone needs. It's a blessing, you know. Obviously, the dream is a footballer, and that's a whole different level. But
you know what? Even footballers, they don't have as much freedom as we do. Of course not, because their whole days are regimented. They're structured, scheduled.
But they get paid well for
They get paid incredibly well, but their life is controlled. Yeah. Your life is whatever you want to make of it. You're completely in control of whatever you want to do. I guess
work-life balance. You said it, and that's key. Like when I left uni. It was all about money first and foremost. Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You know, who's gonna pay me more? It wasn't graduate schemes at the time. The recession was just over. I think this was 2012, ish. So you know, who's paying me the most? Okay, that job's paying me the most. Okay, that job's paying me the most. Oh, but they're not uni related jobs. They're not. Okay, what's the progression? There's no progression after this level. I reached that level, no progression. So then I went from money being the sole to, okay, there needs to be an element of progression in these roles. So it's money and progression.
Yeah.
And then that was what it was until I had Zekai. And then work-life balance took over.
Yeah.
But then that's because I was in a position to be able to provide well enough to know that I can now take a hit financially, pull away to give more time to raising him and being around him and having the moments and whatnot. Which listen, some people get it early, some people don't ever get it. So for me, there's three things: money, progression, and work-life balance. I think those three are important factors in how you maneuver your career.
Yeah. There was a earlier part where you touched on like design, and I've noticed this about you. You're quite a perfectionist in terms of launching shows, launching new projects, new ideas. Instagram. Most of the photos are very calculated. I remember in South Africa, with some other trips that we've been on, we'll get into the best moments, but you ain't playing with them pictures.
Take my picture in the same spot. I'm just like, man.
I remember
I had to climb a mountain. I had to climb a rock or something to get a different picture.
It's taken me a while to take Instagram more seriously, which is crazy because I never used to care about Instagram and pictures. Like for me, I have to be reminded to take a photo. You asked my girlfriend, like she's angry with the lack of photos we have together because I will not think about photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have like an eye where you want things a certain way, and maybe things actually take longer than people would understand because of that part of you. But is that coming back from the design that you spoke about earlier, the kind of way that you were when you were younger?
Yeah, I think it does. I should never have left design for uni, but you know, at them times, especially if you're someone of my age, the idea was you go do business at uni or IT or maths, you know, the main things. That was by the time I left uni, the world had changed. It was the creative world. So by the time I left uni, business was, but I like the marketing aspect of business most because it's tied into creativity and whatnot. And yeah, I do have, you know, it takes me a while to launch things. It takes me, you know, I've been telling my channel for years that I'm coming back with this, I'm coming back with that. And the reality is I only delivered it within the past year, you know, and they laugh about it, but that's real. Yeah. Like, cause then I'll turn around and apologize. I know, like I said next week and it's next year. And I've just been honest about it the whole way. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I just look at it and just think that is, what was the question?
Well, just that design element of your youth days has definitely brought you to your current day now, where
the patience,
you have an eye for it.
The patience thing is important in my opinion.
You're quite particular.
The patience thing was important, and you've displayed the patience too, because we came into this space a bit later than when it popped off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Neither of us were one of the first through the door in terms of viral videos. Me on fan cams, maybe. We had to be patient about things and maybe deploy ourselves in a different way, which I think we both did. And that patience has led us here. Look at what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, not just this, but your set, your content, the quality of it, all of that. So, you know, patience for me is a big thing. You know, you can't rush it. A lot of people try to rush it, but for me, patience was key. Now, a lot of people don't have the patience or can't have the patience, maybe because of what they need to provide. Yeah. But I was blessed enough to have a job and slowly build this on the side to eventually come to a point where it's like, okay, well, this is, you know, doing me in 10 hours a day and more. Project management, you know, at times it ain't easy. At times you're living life. Yeah. But then this one, my work-life balance would be, you know, so much better and I'd be more in control. And then you just go for that decision. And patience just led to that, I think. Same with Big Six. When we put Big Six together, I made sure that I didn't go for anyone that's the top of their pile. I didn't go for the main Chelsea fan. I didn't go for the main Liverpool fan. I didn't go for the main Tottenham fan. There was no City fans, right, at this time.
Still isn't.
I mean, there's three now. There's three. But yeah, so I never, you know, that was on purpose. You know, I could have had bigger people at the time. Yeah. But the plan was to build, be patient. And you know, because you was in the WhatsApp group from early. Yeah, yeah. I said, work with me here. Yeah, yeah. This ain't just about, let's quickly make some money out of it. This is about, let's build something. You know, chemistry is key to me. I grew up talking football, friends, being free to toe the line at times, but understanding it's all love. And And you man did that, and look at where we are now in terms of the big six and whatever. And I've done that with my channel, with other podcasts that I've created. Patience, in my opinion, is key to it all. You need the creative mind,
Of course.
but patience, in my opinion, is important.
And like you said, to have that patience, you kind of have to almost separate whatever real life demands financially, which again is a pleasure. It's a pleasure if you can be able to do it, like you said, because not everybody can do that. But if you can separate what is, it's artistic, it's creative. Yes, we're talking about football. Yes, it's facts and figures and statistics, but there is an art form, I think, to it. At least there is for me in terms of from a creative perspective. You have to be able to try and separate that from the desires and the needs of instant gratification and success. Because, like you said, if you do too much and you're not pulling the other side's not pushing the other way, it gets kind of blurry quite quickly.
100%.
Yeah, it's interesting because you said as well that obviously with your son now, you've been able to step back from things, and one of those big things that everybody will kind of look at you for was your time at AFTV, and you was there for a very, very long time. From before I was even on social media, actually in this football space, I was watching your fan cams, Troops, Claude, rest his soul, Ty, who's still there now. I want to ask you a couple questions, but I want to ask you first of all, did you get, some people watching this, they didn't get the closure, I guess, that they wanted from your exit, because they would have watched you build chemistry, talking about chemistry, and the people that you worked with on there, and the shows that you were a part of. You're part of a lot of stuff. We talk about, Box to Box. We talk about the previews. We talk about the watch-alongs. We talk about, Forever Arsenal. Many, many other things, right? Supporters Club. They would have watched you. Chemistries are building. Friendships are building. You're part of their routine. I remember going to, we went to LA. We went to go and watch Arsenal versus Man United. And the absolute outpour of love and dedication and emotion towards not only, you, but to us as a group, because of what you had been a part of, because really, that was an AFTV kind of circle that we were in at the time, and it was Arsenal game. And I'll ask you afterwards about whether you got the closure that you wanted and the exit went the way you wanted it to go. But does part of you kind of regret that the audience maybe didn't get the closure? Would you have liked to have had a last show and been able to announce it, or it be gone about in a different way?
This might sound like, trust me, I don't mean nothing by it, but I didn't care come the end of it.
Okay.
Do you get it? I just didn't care. That's nothing. I'm not talking about the community here, the viewer.
Yeah.
I just look back and it ended the way it ended, and that's what it is. I don't really, have any regrets, or I wouldn't really change anything, in my opinion. It is what it is, and you move. So yeah,
that's interesting, because obviously I remember you saying on the Big Six it didn't end well, and I'm wondering, when you said that, in regards to people watching this, they'll be like, are we ever going to see Turkish on camera or in content, in a collaboration, when the dust settles with certain people on that, say a Robbie, say a Lee, a Curtis? Are we going to see you on screen with those guys again? Is that something that you've thought about? Is that a potential? Is it kind of just letting things kind of calm down and giving it a bit of time and then kind of going back to it?
You think you're Louis Theroux, innit?
No, I don't even know who that is.
The hard-hitting questions.
At some point, listen, the Turkish Tea is good, by the way.
The new set, and then he's trying to come with this whole series.
Do you know what?
I'm surprised you don't put that leg over this leg and give the whole that pose.
You're funny,
bro. You know what it is for me? I don't hate anyone, and I don't, I don't hold on to grudges or anything. Like, would we work together? I've spoken to Lee. I've seen Lee since it all happened.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's going to happen. In terms of Robbie, we just haven't spoke.
Yeah.
And that's not just since it's happened. That's since before it happened. So there's nothing there that I see will turn around. He's stubborn, I'm stubborn. He believes what he believes, I believe what I believe, and that's the way it's going to be. I'm stubborn, he's stubborn, that's it. But in terms of just generally, like, there's a lot of people at that organization that, you know, I've got love for. You know, friends, for example. Cecil, not just people in front of camera, people behind camera. Too. People in and around and whatnot. So for me, initially, I was getting a lot of messages about forever. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to say it. And it came out the way it did. Do I regret that? No, I don't regret it. You know, it didn't end well. But 2, 3, 4 weeks later now, whatever it is what it is. I've moved on. They've moved on. You know, people might be upset they didn't get closure. I think there's still, you know, there's still open ends around. So, you know, maybe it's never going to close. It is what it is. You move, man. In life, this is... things come, things go. Just gotta make the most of it. Focus on what you know you need to focus on, and that's it.
It's a different type of work, isn't it? Because like, if you was to say in any normal situation you leave a job, there ain't this buzz like, hey, why'd you leave Tesco?
Trust me.
We want closure.
It's mad. When I left Royal Mail, no one asked me, what's going on?
You was on till 20. You know what I mean? And now you're not. Now you're on till 7. What's going on right now? But I guess because of that viewership and that support and that love and that, like I said, they're just so, you are part of so many people's day on a daily basis. And it's so difficult for them to kind of change. No one likes change. You know, your favorite TV show or your favorite film and they drop one of the main stars and suddenly now they're like, yo, what's going on? I want an interview. I want something. Someone better tell me what's going on. I think because we're in it, we don't, and it still boggles my mind. You don't think about it like that, but TV isn't what it was, you know. Films, I think, aren't what they were, and I'm not trying to be a nostalgia merchant, but, you know, even music, it feels like that side of things, the traditional creative stuff is kind of not what it was, at least in your time, in my time, the quality of it. And I'm not saying we've replaced that because that's wild, but we are part of what people escape or go to in replacement of some of those things. So you're like, you probably, maybe, I don't know if you think about it, how big you are to some people's daily routine or their life. I mean, you've just launched Loose Cannons. So I was going to ask you about, because obviously you was on forever, you launched Loose Cannons. Obviously you have a Jordan and James that come with you. Just how much does that podcast mean to you? Like what, because you never really see that in this. I had a little thing with All You Can Eat Chelsea where people were so surprised they gave it to Miz. They were like, what's going on? We never really see people give away a podcast that they started and give it to their friends. And I explained that. But when you do something for years and years and you wake up at 8 a.m, you told me to run, you told me the new timing for it, right? And you build that chemistry. Just how much does that mean to you, that pod, I guess? Because I know how much Big Six means to you.
Yeah, firstly, James and Jordan didn't come with me. Their situations and encounters led to their decisions, and then everything tied in after that, right? Because every individual that has moved over to Loose Cannon, there's been a different end to it all, or crossover. Forever, I built like Big Six, bro. You know, forever, someone at the organization contacted me and said, you know, we're looking for a podcast type of piece of content for the app.
Okay.
AFTV app. So I said, all right, I'll have a think about it, get back to you. Give me 3-4 weeks. 3-4 weeks later was January 2021. Yeah, January 2021. I got back to him. I said, all right, this is the idea I have in mind. I'll be the host of it, and then we'll have 3 other guests, but we'll have 5 people to pick from. Right, so there's a bit of rotation to it. Yeah. The 5 people being James, Jordan, Lee, Mo, and Helen.
Okay.
That was the 5 people I suggested. Yeah. So that was good to go. We launched it, James, Mo, and Lee, and it went so well that, you know, it was just like, I was like, you know what, are you lot on doing this, like, you know, every week? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so this is what it's going to be. Okay, cool. Everyone signed off like Big Six, how we did it. Yeah, yeah. And that's it. When on the app, it was the best thing on the app. You know, it was doing what it needed to on the app to be sustainable. And then eventually the choice was made to move it over to YouTube, which I was in agreement for. You know, the content, the vibe is just completely different. in my opinion. And the fact it's streamed as well, considering how much studio stuff is on the channel AFTV.
Yeah.
I thought it's something different. It's something easier. It's something quicker on the mark after games, which is important in my opinion. That whole Monday, Thursday format for Big Six, no one was doing that before we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for forever, you know, I was thinking of similar things. And just, bro, listen, I you know, the panel, I made up the panel. When the Mo situation played out, and there was a space. Some of the recommendations, I mean, if I left it in certain hands, the pod probably would have finished there. I brought in Jordan, you know.
I didn't know of Jordan before that.
Yeah,
I mean, was he doing content before that? Where did you?
So I met Jordan
scouting there
outside the stadium. He was
Okay.
Channel 4 News. He came and interviewed me. Channel 4, maybe 2019, 18 maybe. Around then, he interviewed me. We just exchanged numbers. I brought him in on Supporters Club.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he was originally on Supporters Club, which was my first show on the channel.
Yeah.
When they was doing stuff in YouTube Studio. I brought a lot of people through on the Supporters Club, because that's what it was about for me. It was about, listen, this is a new thing. Like let's mix it up and see. But forever, yeah. Jordan come in, you know, hit the ground running, and then, you know, the pod was still getting the love that it deserved to get. I think, you know, the chemistry, everything, whether it was with Mo at the time or whether it, you know, it's with Jordan since, it's been top. And, you know, not only did I pick the panel, but I recorded the show, I planned the show, I uploaded the show. If I need to edit something out, I edited the show. Yeah. I done the thumbnail for the show. Yeah, I did the description if I need to do that.
Okay.
So it was. Wow. It felt like
yours.
Yeah, it felt like similar to Big Six. Like, you know what I was doing early days.
Yeah,
it was just me behind the scenes doing everything. Yeah.
Yeah, we just clock in and go.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't know what was going on.
3 more hours doing the
now we hear these things on Spotify.
Audio, yeah, exactly. I'm just, you know. So I was doing the same because I enjoy it and I see something in it.
Yeah.
So forever, the fact that it's not the same anymore. Obviously, Lee was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But you know, it was sad in my opinion. It's not. I'm not going to moan and cry. Yeah. It's not about moaning and crying. You got to move and shake. You know,
that's your saying.
What you got to do.
That's your saying.
You got to move and that's what it's about. I put a lot of work into forever. You know, I think it could have been, you know, as big as a Big Six in terms of one club level. Yeah. You know, Big Six is open to multiple markets, whereas Forever is limited to one club. But that one club is the biggest club on social media and the ones that have the most fans clicking, and, you know, Arsenal. Yeah. So I saw great things for it. So, you know, the fact this ended the way it's ended and now it's not the same, there's, you know, a pod here, a pod there. It is what it is, you know. It is what it is now.
I have to ask as well, like, on these pods, you take up like a host role, but then on the fan cams, that's like, especially your fan cam, I've seen you even host some of them where you interview. What role do you prefer? What do you think's your stronger role? What is your strongest kind of assets, do you think, in this kind of space that you're in now? Like, what do you think? What do you think you kind of maybe want to be known for, I guess, in certain aspects? Because you host very well. Like, you let people kind of, you know, do their thing. You know how to just let something just play out. Do you enjoy that part of it? Do you prefer it? How do you see it?
You know what I love the most about it is everything that goes behind and has gone behind Big Six and Forever Arsenal. The project planning. I love to see a final product work. Not just work financially, because before that it needs to work for the community. It needs to work for the people that make up the numbers on subscribers and views and so on. So that's like what I love most about it, is planning, seeing something, seeing a vision. You know, look, go on my YouTube community post, November 2024. I said, loose cannons, you know, 4 to 6 people. What do you lot think? You know, that didn't come out till now. And everyone said that name slaps and it's convenient. And whatnot. It looks it, but it was there from a long time ago. I just didn't rush it. And thankfully I didn't, because look how it all
I was watching
out.
an episode the other day. We're getting a bit too loose.
Yeah,
Jordan,
I mean,
I think.
I think they got the wrong. We've had a conversation.
Yeah.
Big Six was top 6 2 years before it became Big Six. Yeah. So the whole project planning of it is what I love. Like the branding of Big Six using black and a gold tint, like yellow gold tint. Why? Because I like black and yellow gold tint. It looks very nice together.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything on YouTube with this.
Yeah.
Let's bang it. You know, top six, it doesn't work because Arsenal are finishing 8th. All right, big six. That ain't changing for the foreseeable. Cool. These little steps. And then when you see it and you look back at all these little things, that's what I love. In terms of on camera, I don't really mind. I like hosting because that was the diff. There was a time when I was looking around and Arsenal fans especially had the most voices online, right? And like I said, I came in years after the popular ones are popping.
Yeah.
So I thought, look, I have to be different. There, you know, which is where I went to shows and because Top Six was in the studio, I was trying.
I remember seeing.
Where I went to bring in fans of other clubs together. At that time, not, you know, very few channels were doing that. Very few. So you know, it's just about taking the necessary steps, looking back and appreciating those. But on camera, I think the hosting is just when you get the right people.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say the job's easy. It's not a job. You just direct. You know, when you get the right people, and that's another thing I enjoy. That's part of the project planning, the chemistry.
Yeah.
The chemistry, the demographic, the age. I look at all these things when I'm creating something.
Yeah.
So I know I just said on camera what it is, and I went back off camera. That just shows how much I like off camera. The production. I don't know what you call it, production, whatever. I don't know what you call it, but I like a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I also like talking in front of camera. I like the community I've built. I still don't understand. You know?
I hear you say this a lot. You don't understand.
I'm not entertaining like you or Expressions or Saeed. Like my thing's a bit different, but that's why
I was very entertained with your rap at the beginning of the Brentford review.
Yeah, I got one or two moments in
Bro.
one or two moments, but just generally, I didn't ever foresee this.
Yeah.
I said it in the last podcast.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
just like I feel like when I look back at my videos, monotone a little bit. You know, he's only emotive when he's negative. I think now I actually believe in Arsenal again. Fully believe. People are getting to see that side of me too, where I can be emotive on a positive level too.
Yeah.
But if we not do it, that flip will be, you know, real quick because I'm an emotive person. So I like the on-camera stuff because you get the raw emotion, and finally people are seeing the other side of me, maybe the cocky, arrogant, banterish type of side.
Hate watches, taking people to stadiums.
I love it, man. I don't know what's so good, but yeah, it's good. I'm just enjoying it, bro. Like, on camera, off camera, yeah, I like where it's going.
Yeah, because you said you didn't plan for it.
No.
At what point did you realize that, yo, I might have something here in terms of as an individual? You knew that, okay, you might actually, because you said obviously you weren't part of the first wave, the first group of kind of content creators or, you know, football kind of fan speakers or whatever you want to call them. You weren't part of that first group. Maybe you were sitting on the bench and I was in the stands. I was in the stands. I wasn't even on the bench at that time. But when did it click for you? It was like, oh, people actually like me. They like listening to me, and I'm actually good at this.
Should I be honest, bro? I think maybe a year ago. I swear to you, bro. You're laughing.
You're a joker.
2024,
what are you
bro.
talking about, bro? 2024.
Because look, that was 24-25 is the season where I took a step back from AFTV.
Yeah.
I started doing more on my channel. The match reaction started doing well. You know, the lives were doing better. And I was implementing stuff that was, you know, and that's mine. That's my platform. Yeah. So, you know, I've made a move that, you know, I'm taking a step back from one, taking my time there to put my time here. And that move is paying off. That was well and truly because security is important to me in terms of security is important, full stop.
Of course.
Especially when you got a child and a mortgage and so on.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't leave Royal Mail until I knew that there was something tangible there. And at that time, it was more the pay from AFTV than it was my own channel, even though at that time I had about 60K on my channel. My channel was already built up decent when I joined AFTV full time. Yeah. You know.
And how did you build that? You just doing shows, weren't you?
Just shows, just random. Like, I was trying things. Me and Deluded would have a show. Me and Rants had a show.
Yeah, I remember you and Mo.
Yeah, me and Mo had like every 2 months-ish.
Real Recognize Real rings a bell.
That's Rants, yeah.
Is that Rants?
Yeah. So I had a few shows going off, just doing random things, you know, transfer window stuff, next manager, players and all that. So that's how I built that up. And then obviously Big Six was the focus from there, because when I joined the AFTV, I didn't have no time. Son, born January, you know, joined the AFTV April. Big Six popping off. So I didn't do any Arsenal content on anywhere else but AFTV. So last year was the first year I took a step back and said, all right, I'm doing it on my channel.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what I need to do, you know, for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Because there's a few reasons, but that's why it's long. So that's what I did. So you're laughing and you're asking me, but
I just find it's crazy to hear you
from
say
the
it.
heart. That's because I got a son. I can't just. Yeah, I've never been comfortable with it until I saw what I saw from the community last year, end of last year.
They dictate.
Yeah.
When you make the move.
Hit 100K January the 1st.
Yeah.
Literally January the 1st, I hit 100K.
That's mad, isn't it? What a date.
Yeah. So
what a date to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
And don't forget, my channel was stagnant for 2 years. So
you weren't really
remember there was
posting.
a worry that, is it going to come back and, you know.
Yeah. So you had those worries.
Of course,
because for me, look, on the outside looking in, I always saw that I thought, okay, he's got a really loyal, dedicated fan base. We don't know the size of it or whatever, because AFTV, maybe some of the numbers are there, maybe fan counts, it's blurry. But I just felt like there was something about your audience was a cult following. I could feel a cult following there, like a ride or die. No matter if he doesn't upload, when you do, they will be there.
Yeah,
and I think that's, you know.
I pushed it though.
Yeah.
I pushed it.
you pushed the limits in terms
next
of
month,
you
next
testing
month,
their patience.
soon. Yeah. Not by choice, just by nature.
Let's see how loyal you guys really are.
But finally, I'm seeing comments saying, "Hey, you once used to lead us on, but look at what you're doing now." Things like that. And I think now more than ever, because of the situation with AFTV, the way it's unfolded, you know, this is another big step in realizing. So as much as I say last year I realized, you know, I could say last month.
Yeah,
because that was also a big moment where it's like, rah, you know, look at the community and you know how they're, you know, backing it and supporting, you know, how I move forward and the content since, like Loose Cannons has hit the ground running.
It's been brilliant, yeah.
You know, the community are playing a part in letting us know what guests to bring in. It's still as engaging as ever, and yeah, it's all about them. So for me last year, but. Listen, I might wake up and YouTube is done. Knowing that.
There's always Twitch.
Knowing that. Listen, I don't know about all
TikTok.
that.
I told you to do a TikTok live the other day.
I'll be onto the deliveries or something, bro. If YouTube, I don't mind, bro. Just whatever's paying me, I'll do deliveries. You know, if you need me to do that. So yeah, I'm always thinking ahead, but not that far ahead that I wake up and YouTube's done, because that would be a problem.
Yeah. But you spoke about obviously motivation, new challenges, risk taking, keeping yourself almost keeping yourself on your toes, keeping it interesting for yourself. And I think as much as like we spoke about the kind of negative way of leaving and whatnot, but we could speak about the fact that you were there from 2014, 15 to 2025?
17.
17. So that's 7 years, a long time. So, you know, you're well within your right to kind of almost want to do something different and to challenge yourself and to start your own thing and to kind of build something yourself, 100%. Because that is what keeps... you know, especially guys, I feel like you need to have something motivating you, pushing you, something fresh, something new, something risky, something like, 100%. This might work out, might not, but I need to take that jump because I need to be out of my comfort zone. Like you said, complacency is one of the worst things you can have in adulthood, and when you got a son or a family, you need to be on it.
100%.
So
100%.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my first fan cam was February 2017 after Bayern Munich. My channel launched, I think, May 2018 was my first video. The Big Six launched 2018, August. And, you know, from there, I got a call, supporters, you know, can you make a show for AFTV? That's where Supporters Club came about. So December 2018, that's when my first show launched on AFTV. And that was just me coming in, you know, just using the network I had at the time. Because again, if you watch Supporters Club, there wasn't always big names on there, because I made a point of not doing that. Because then it's just about them. Like, I can't say this product is good without the fact that this big person is on it. Yeah. So yeah, you just gotta keep on building them out, and eventually you want to own it, right?
Yeah.
Eventually you want to be doing your thing, own your schedule, and you know, after I did the supporters club for AFTV, I changed up the Big Six, and I changed up, you know, the way we did it because of COVID, the streaming, and then I got shouted again by AFTV to do Forever Arsenal, so then I launched that, and then I really started full time in 2021.
Yeah.
So as much as I was there from 2017, bits and bobs, supporters club 2018, 19ish, Forever Arsenal 2021 as well. Actually, the full time aspect came in then, and then it's just about time. You know, I was busy with Zakai, AFTV, and the Big Six, so I didn't focus on my own content as much. But then you progression,
and ambition,
progression, and these are words that you need to, you know, adopt, to know, to understand, to be filled with in life. You need
a journey.
What's next, right? Because no one's there to just build up someone else's thing and just, you know, that's not ideal. You know, if you must, you must. Yeah, it's fine. But if there's opportunity, then you need to seize opportunity.
I have to ask as well about Big Six. Obviously, we have to talk about Big Six because that there's wow. You know, we talk about you know, we can. Thankfully, YouTube have this button that you can press with the oldest show, and you can scroll on your channel and find the first Big Six show, which we actually did in South Africa. And we looked at the camera quality of everybody and my chin strap, we want to call it, of a beard. I don't know what to call it, to be honest. Saeed was in his Twanzebe moment, you know what I mean? Tobes was still on calls, probably, you know, and clients and whatnot. What a journey that is. How proud are you of what that is becoming? Not become, because it is still changing, growing. Launch of the mob. You know, Back Your Chat is, wow. We'll talk about that, you know, because South Africa, that was probably the best piece of content I think I've ever been involved in.
Yeah, same.
That was ridiculous. Same, but yeah, just 100%. From where it was when you started it, bearing in mind top six with your mates, so you already had the idea prior to the Big Six even being a thing, then it becoming what it is now, and then seeing how it has changed the space a little bit in terms of there's a lot more rival kind of content in terms of people actually kind of conversing, and people are giving their opinions on other people's teams as opposed to just their own, and that kind of fan channel vibe of, no, you can only speak about your club. You can only speak about your club. It's kind of changed. Yeah, how do you feel about all of that? Because it's mad.
It is mad, you know. Like I always believed in it though. I always believed in it because it's normal, it's natural. You know, you know, when we started Big Six, a lot of the content was just, like you said, individuals talking about their clubs. That's it. There was barely any crossover content. But life isn't like that. You know, you grow up around other fans. You know, your friendship groups, your circles at school, other fans. Yeah. So I always believed in the concept of it. It was just delivering it. And when I tried it in the studio with friends, whether it was because it's not a priority for them or through the costs involved and the lack of revenue from it, you know, it was very difficult to do. Then COVID hits, streaming become more of a thing, and, you know, okay, let's change the format. Let's see if this runs. Again, it didn't run well with friends. So within a couple of months, I brought you man on board, and then the rest is history. So I always believed in it. You know, and what I believed in is still more than what it is right now. And I think you agree, like you said, the potential's there. But it's definitely on the right path. The community we've built is special. You know, and the numbers that are following it too, it's always, you know, it's always
kicking on.
Stepping up a level. Like the community, the Discord, the members section, they're very supportive, right? And I think that's one of the most unique things about us, in my opinion, and that's why Back Your Chat came about. That's Scarf Uggery's idea. So that was his work. One of the only things he's actually done around here. But it was a good one.
Hold that.
He's behind the camera.
He's behind the camera.
Muttering under his...
Why are you on that?
But credit to him for that, man. But yeah, what it's grown to become. Did I see it exactly as it is? No, but I believed in it. I believe we spoke about it from day one in the WhatsApp group. Stick together, respect each other. Then the slowly but surely we'll push each other a little bit more naturally. Let's not force anything. Let's talk football. The banter will come. Because originally we was just talking football. I remember earlier on I said, let's not banter. Let's talk football.
Yeah.
Because naturally the banter will come in when you get to know each other. At this moment, it'll be quite forced. Like, imagine we're just doing a stream with a new person and he's trying to throw shade or something. You're either going to be offended or you're going to be like, who the hell is this guy?
You're going to be on the defensive.
Either way. So that all had to happen naturally.
Yeah.
And it goes back to patience.
Yeah.
Patience key. So yeah, unbelievable where the Big Six is, and that's because of the community. So listen, I hope it continues, and then there's more to come.
Yeah, it will. I remember on the last pod, we actually spoke about how you kind of found everybody in their own pockets of content. I remember Tobes and Steve, there's this clip of them on Cheeky Sport, which is absolutely insane. Them two like going back and forth and whatnot. Saeed obviously was on, he was on content on Man United platforms, rants, and myself on Twitter. Where did you find Skullfuggery from? Because I don't think I asked you on the previous episode. How did you two?
So this one night I was just scrolling through my DMs, and then
Yo, Skull, if you wanna interject, you're more than welcome to.
So if you didn't catch that, Skull said shut the fuck up behind camera, so I'll do just that.
Because the intros, all that is now like so important to the Big Six.
I was a fan.
Yeah,
I was a fan of the content that he was bringing out. Like it was weird. And we've come to find that he is weird, so it makes sense. But it was weird because it was unusual, and I love unusual, especially if it works, and I like it because that's what it's about. That's the next step. Forget what's usual, what's unusual, and how can you use that? So I liked his content when he's ripping up AFTV clips, and he had Robbie in the 20th Century Fox intro, and he had Ty's face mashed up, and I enjoyed the clips, And either I left a comment on a video maybe or something, or he left a comment on the Big Six video, and from there just went over to Instagram, I think, and then we started talking a bit more. Phone numbers, and then worked out a plan. I saw something in his clipping technique that could be used in
to
what
humiliate
we're doing.
all of us.
Well, to play on it. And again, listen,
it's worked.
That's something that has been copied multiple times throughout. No one was doing that before. And I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not moaning about people doing it. Move, shake. Remember, you got to, what's next?
You just got to,
But the innovation, the trend setting part of it, that's also motivation, because then when you see other people doing it, at first I used to think, what the fuck these guys think they are? At first he's dead. And then it's like, what are you like? What's going on here? But then slowly but surely, it's there's a saying for it. I forgot what the saying was.
I think I know what you're saying. Imitation is a form of flattery.
Yeah. Just, I didn't want to Saeed it up.
Saeedism right there.
But yeah, I saw something in his technique, and I mean, don't we all? Didn't we all? So that was easy. And he was open to making it work with us, and we worked out an arrangement. I think that was for the last few weeks of the season, and then spoke in the summer, and then he became essentially. Listen, it wasn't a business then, so it's not full-time, part-time, but he was there quite often working behind the scenes. Then eventually, you man started getting to know him a bit more, and then the brand was growing. It became from a once-in-a-while thing to every time it needed to happen, he was delivering. And one of the best decisions. Like, along the way, when you consider, when Big Six started, Monday, Thursdays wasn't a thing. It started becoming a thing. Oppositions getting together to talk as consistent, it started becoming a thing. Skullfuggery was one of the difference makers in this whole thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you look back and you think, how did we differentiate? He is one of them. Our chemistry and our characters are definitely one. But he is one, in a different way, but with the same weight. I think that was. Listen, I pat myself on the back. That was a masterstroke. I'll be honest.
It is because a lot of things wouldn't be how they are
He's an
right
artist,
now.
For connecting it together,
it would not look the same.
One of the best moves I've made since doing all of this content creating stuff. And then the rest is history. You don't see Big Six is Skullfuggery too. There's 6 men and there's Skullfuggery.
Yeah, that skeleton has become iconic now in the chat as well.
Sick.
massive difference maker, man. The quality, that's the thing people can't copy is quality. There's a certain level of quality that is produced that people can't imitate because it's very,
and
the skill and
and he's weird, bro.
he is,
Like,
isn't he?
keep
Weird.
using that
I live
word.
with him.
Yeah,
He's strange.
Like, we know, like on off camera, on and off the pitch. But like, that's, you know, a lot of legends in the game, any game, are weird.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's a uniqueness to them. So yeah, that plays a big part too, and I mean weird in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because he, you know, he wouldn't be part of the team
if he was just weird.
If he was just weird.
We don't want any weirdos around.
By now.
I want to ask as well, actually, I said the same thing about your individual kind of career, but with Big Six, what was the moment for you that you were like, again, this is on, like, you always believed in it, like you said, but there was a moment where you were like, oh, okay, this is maybe bigger than I thought it was, or it's bigger than I had it in my head. You know, it's going to be bigger than that.
10K live viewers.
Okay.
I can't remember when it happened, but 10K live viewers was crazy. Because as much as I was presenting, and you listen, 7K was crazy at this time. These numbers were, you know, for us, it was massive.
Yeah.
8K, 9K, and when it finally passed 10K, I remember sitting. I forgot which show it was, but I remember sitting back. It was like 11.2K, and I was thinking, I'm speaking to 11,200 people here.
It's a stadium. It's
Yeah,
Bournemouth.
it's not like this, you know. It felt weird. It felt good. It felt wow, and it felt like this is going off. You know, I don't see these numbers unless people are established, you know, in the game.
Yeah.
So I think that was the 10K live viewers. I remember that moment.
It's mad because, yeah, when you actually, it's weird. You can only really take so much from the screen and then put it in real life. It completely is a whole nother world.
Different.
To think that is a whole Bournemouth sold out crowd is just watching us in that stream setting talking about football is ridiculous. If you were to put 6 chairs on the centre circle, that's what that is.
Yeah, and we've hit nearly double since in some videos. So yeah, but that moment was like, right, this is something.
Yeah. The first moment that I guess Big Six goes, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Mainstream, Fox.
Yeah. And that's the next moment.
Yeah.
That's the next moment.
For you, right, because we spoke about this before off air, you wouldn't say that you're mainstream at all. I don't see you on many mainstream platforms really that often. I'm sure you've been on all of them maybe in some capacity, but you're not on that often. What was it like for you to just on your own show that you started and you're on Fox? So we're not talking about UK coverage here. We're talking about over the pond.
Yeah.
And you're on one of the biggest platforms there. And like, what's going through your mind there? Because at this point, everybody else is excited. Everybody's in their own world, but no one. What's going on in your mind right there? What's going on for you?
You see, we all walk through that door at the same time.
Yeah.
So we all know that feeling.
Exactly.
But for me, it was because that cost money, bro. You see that trip? It cost money. Just so people know, there ain't no investors around here. There ain't
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was reinvesting everything. Do you get it? To make things work. So when I walked in, we all felt the same thing, but I also felt vindicated. It all made sense. You know, it was like, wow, like they proper set this whole thing up for us because it all came from a presenter. Big up Dan. He DM'd me and said, you know, loves the show and whatnot, and if there's ever a chance, you know, let's do something. And we actually streamed into Fox Live on StreamYard once or on Zoom.
I think we
was on Fox before we actually came in person. And then after the show, he messaged me saying the vice president of Fox in New York loves the show. I'm like, vice
who?
That sounds, that's, you know, there's president in the title.
Yeah.
So let's, you know, man, give me my number. And he messages, says, and we talk and listen, big up Byron. He's a top guy as well. We met him out in New York as well. I think he's retired now, so hopefully he's enjoying. You know, he mentioned that if we're ever in New York, to shout him, he can sort things out. So again, opportunity, seize the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what things can you sort out? He said, listen, we'll go for dinner and, you know, we'll get you a segment on Fox. What do you mean segment? He says, listen, I'm the vice president. I remember him saying, I'm the vice president.
Oh, really?
I can get you I can get you a proper football segment on.
Saeed got his own weather report.
Remember? Listen, go back to that video if you haven't watched it, people. But, you know, from that, I said, just to confirm, if I now go and book tickets and give you a date, are you saying, and he's just basically like, bro, I'm vice president. I'm like, okay, so I come back to you lot, we all talk about it, you know, discuss it and how we're going to make it work. Can we take a month off in terms of being paid, you know, all round to be able to accommodate and so on. And we made it work and we got out there. So yeah, the second moment being Fox and walking in the studio, 6 in the city. We didn't tell them that. They made that up using the same font and colors we use and TV screens all over the place. There's some ex-mob mafia wife presenting.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, what's going on?
Yeah.
This is my first time in New York as well, so great experience overall. But yeah, that moment was a massive moment because then it's like, we did this ourselves. You know, there's no one that can turn around and say, we helped them guys. Yeah. You know, we grinded out and we saw an opportunity and we all got together and said, yes, let's go and see. And up until the moment we walked in, it was all blindfolds. We didn't know what to expect. And then we got what we got. And again, motivation. I remember like Saeed on that trip. Gassed. Yeah. I remember. Everyone was. Yeah. And I was just looking around and everyone was gassed. I was gassed and it just, you're proud. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at it, yes, like this is a big step for us because we're not making money like that. You know, people might think outside looking in when shows are doing certain views or it's not money like that. It's not life-changing money. So certain times the motivation to do these kind of things can dwindle. Yeah. You know, what's the pros, what's the cons being in the public eye? Pressure, abuse, all of this. So, you know, I can understand people's decisions. Yeah. But a moment like that, looking around at everyone's faces, it was like everyone's on it now. Like, you know, not that they wasn't on it before, but that this was a big moment. And that's why us have made it a thing to try and go somewhere every year, you know, to explore, to open our eyes and to give back a little bit. Because I'd say the third moment, 10K live viewers, then Fox is South Africa. You know, not just Super Sport, which was amazing in itself, but Back Your Chat too. The South Africa trip in total, the Joburg part of it. The Kruger stuff was more, we enjoyed ourselves, we put it on camera, it was fun. Yeah. But in Joburg, 11-hour flight, never been to Africa, to get, what, 300 people, 200, I don't know,
bro,
200,
it was wild, bro.
200,
they covered the whole... They surrounded us.
I had hay fever out there too, so I
You're always ill. It's just such a shame.
Everywhere, man. There's grass and pudding all over the gaff. But yeah, that was the third big moment, which is the one we've just come off. Actually, Mob is in there as well when we launched Mob. There's been so many now, but I don't dwell. Yeah. I just, that's nice. What's next? That's nice. What's next? And hopefully one day that's nice. We're good.
We're done.
Yeah, not done, but we're good. Not comfy, but we've got it all in place now. Just continue doing this and we're good. Yeah. But until then, it's what's next. So I don't really look back and appreciate things much, which probably should do more. That's what people say, but wasting a bit of time. Might as well think forward.
Yeah. It's mad because I remember. I don't know if I said this to you on the last pod, but I remember the first time that you were paying the panel, and I remember saying to you, "Yo, you just covered the rent."
Bro, you see, on a personal level, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I won't forget that either.
I'll never forget that. When you said that to me,
I
thought, what?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like it was mad to me. It made me feel good. Yeah. And happy. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's that, and this is me, who's the big grouchy guy with the beard and whatnot. I was like, now that's nice to hear. Like, you know, something I've made has led to someone on it being able to cover a big part of something that matters in their life. So I'll never forget that moment. Yeah. When you said that was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's mad because you're dealing with a group of people that are all coming from different walks of life. That's why it makes it what it is. Different backgrounds, different financial situations, different schedules. How have you gone about trying to manage all that and dealing with all these different personalities? Because we spoke about, obviously, ambition and people will be listening thinking, what's stopping these guys from just walking off and leaving? You know what I mean? It's like, how do you learn from, I guess, what you've gone through and what you've experienced and what you know about people's kind of way of being ambitious or seeking this and seeking that and still holding everything together. That's what people will be thinking. How is he holding this together? Because at any point now, they're expecting some sort of problem. Do you know what I mean? There always is on YouTube. Yeah. Everyone's always falling out, but like you've kept it, it's there.
Just tried my best, bro. Like, I'm a people's person. I got people skills. You know, before project management, I'd done operations management. So I've always got along with people. Growing up in Wood Green, multicultural, just different people, different races, different ages, different profiles. I've always kind of, and that helped a lot.
Yeah.
In keeping us all together. That's not to say we didn't have ups and downs. Steve going was a difficult one to take, but you know, Hugh filled in and done his thing, and you know, we kept it moving. And that moment was big for me because it was the first big change, and you know, again, the only big change we've had to come about. But it gave me again, if I didn't have that moment, which I would never have wanted, but not for that moment, I wouldn't know that what we're doing is bigger than each individual. It's, you know, because the community still kicked on the numbers for the next season. I remember being worried. Yeah. Because Steve is a bold character. Listen, Man City, you know, especially at that time, there's not many fans to pick from, and he, you know, he's the biggest, most, you know, linked to the club in terms of season ticket and what he does. So losing him felt like it could. The community was there. The community was there. So as much as I didn't want that moment, it was a good moment in hindsight for other reasons. So that's what I take from it. I mean, keeping us together aside from that has been pretty. I mentioned the managing people thing because at the beginning that's what it was. Yeah. You know, manage people in terms of this is the hope, this is the ambition. Now, some people might call that bullshit at times, but the proof's in the pudding now.
Exactly.
Like 5 years later, it turned into a business. There's shares, there's all of this stuff, right? Yeah. I didn't lie about it, but at the time, you know, people could say that's just a management technique. It is a management technique. Yeah. You know, because I would like progression, so I'm trying to sell the idea of progression to you, man. I've never lied, but you know, it's part of managing the situation until you get to a certain point where you lot also see what it is. Like Fox News, I'm looking around, and then it's not managing the situation or the people anymore because it'll manage themselves. We're friends now. Yeah. And the remit from the beginning is don't go over the line, you know, or now we're all going to hold you accountable because it's a friendship circle now. Yeah. So keeping it together initially, I wouldn't even say initially it was difficult. Initially, when we don't know each other, you know, there's a lot of selling, you know, selling dreams, hopes, aspirations. Yeah. But in my opinion, as long as I followed that up with moves that made sense to all of you guys, to where I said we're going to go or we could get to, then I'm not selling you anything false. Yeah. I'm trying to make it that.
It's like, you touched on it earlier, it's like signing young players, like hungry. Yeah. Motivation, haven't made it yet, but want to make it, want to be here, want to be there. They are willing to go on a journey. It's kind of like football. Yeah. You stayed away from the established players that probably would have put you up there a lot earlier as a group, as a unit, if you'd gone and got maybe an Expressions or you got, you know, the biggest names of those clubs at the time. But now you've taken that route and now it's actually like, oh, everybody's actually kind of at a good point now. As an individual as well, as a collective.
Yeah, if I give you an example, of again the character of people in the group that resonates across us all. You know, from early the agreement was we're all paid the same. Remember, like you know, you're all paid the same, regardless of standing and whatnot. Yeah. Now in the past 2 years, Saeed's blown up.
Yeah, right? He's gone level. Crazy, bro. Like, on every platform.
Not once has he flexed. Tried to come about anything in particular.
And he could have.
Look at me and look at, he's got, like, you know, he can because it's there, the proof's in the pudding. Yeah. Which was part of what we needed to do as well, individually do our thing. But again, you know, this couldn't happen without each character being each character, you know, and having the qualities as a person, forget football, as a person, to make something like this work, which requires commitment, sometimes for nothing, sometimes for little. And that's another example. You know, someone like Saeed just, you know, growing at the rate he's been growing, and and moving the way he has in terms of his commitment to us with the mobs as well, for example.
Yeah.
You know, he does watch-alongs on his own channel. But I remember when we launched the mob, I see that he wasn't doing watch-alongs for certain games.
Yeah, yeah.
I noticed that, and I called him and I said, look, yo, love, bro. Never asked you to do that.
Yeah.
But he done that. Why? Because he's got a good heart. And I'm not saying if he did it, it wouldn't be a good heart.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is his choice showed that he, you know, leaned more towards the side that we all kind of benefit from, rather than thinking selfishly now that he's the guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, which he could do.
He could have easily done that.
He is the guy.
Yeah, he could have easily done that.
Yeah. But yeah, we're in a good place, man. You're the guy. He's the guy. For City, Steve's the guy.
Yeah.
Grizzly's struggling with Liverpool right now.
He don't want to. He's ill. He's not well.
He's ill.
He left the stadium early. You tried to offer him food. He just walked away.
Yeah.
He said, "I gotta go home. There's traffic to beat." And Tobes is on a lot of calls.
Tobes thinks he's the guy.
Tobes got a lot going on.
Yeah, we'll leave him. We'll leave that one there.
He got a point deducted because man want to take a shower.
Because he's sweating, and he thought he could call me about that.
Yeah, he's
really lucky
thought,
I didn't answer the phone.
He really thought that was gonna work.
He's lucky I didn't answer the phone. I would have taken 6 of him. If I answered that phone and he said, "Bro, I went for a run. I'm sweating. I need to shower." 6 points off for calling me about this nonsense.
It's the reasoning for me. You know what I mean? It's not the question.
He could have made something
it's the logic.
better, I'll be honest. At least have enough respect
to lie
for me and the brand and the community.
The people waiting
to give a better reason than you're sweaty. He's been the hardest part of it all. The whole journey.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's a joker. He's funny. You've mentioned it a few times, but the shares, right? And obviously I speak about giving away my podcast to Miz, and I explained that to my community in terms of not only did I need a fresh challenge and I needed to open up space. I think sometimes you do this, you got to create space on your own platform.
Yeah.
For things to breathe, but also for you to actually say, oh, there's an empty slot now. Now I've got to do something there.
Yeah.
Instead of just kind of like, getting comfortable. What was the logic? Because when you came with that to the group, what was the logic behind that? Because for you to give up ownership per se, some of it, right, that's not what a lot of people would do, especially in this industry. Like, people wouldn't think to even do that. So what was the logic behind, let me break these people off a piece here?
I'll be honest, I promised you too much and I fucked myself. Cheers. I'm done, mate.
He's done. He's finished. He's giving it all away.
I didn't think you lot would be so loyal, for fuck's sake. No, I'm joking. That was the plan, bro. Because for me, I'm not greedy. Like I said, we all need money to live a good life, a certain life, to do things. But other things matter and mattered more and more the older I got. So, for me, it's... If I look at the... Sorry, say the question again.
So just like in terms of this industry, you wouldn't see people start something, create it, build it, and make the sacrifices. Because like I said at the start, you're making sacrifices that we don't even know about. We're just turning up. You're just doing what you need to do, and then still going and giving ownership to people like that.
I'll get from there. For me, it's all about belief in your own thing, and then what you need in order to achieve that. And I believed in, a unit of fans from opposition clubs, and we got to the unit we got to, which is us, man. And from there, you just analyze the situation, and at that, listen, if I was rich or I was well off or I was in a different position at that time, I might have just paid all 5 of you a certain fee, and that would have been that. Yeah, like, depending on the situation you're in, right? You lot would have been happy with that. I would have been happy with that if I was in that situation. I wasn't. I'm building, right? So, I'm also not a man to try to take advantage. So I'm building. They're going to have to use their energy, their time. How can I give back if I can't give them financially now, regardless of how big anyone is? Barely on YouTube at the moment, or Steve not on YouTube at all. Normal human nature is, what am I getting out of it? And normal human nature is money more often than not. So I couldn't provide that from the get-go. But I said, if we all stick together, then there's an opportunity here, a business opportunity. And I believed in that. That wasn't a dream. And, I just joked about, what it was. But yeah, I believed in that, because if we did, years down the line, speaking to each other week in, week out, adding in challenges here and linking up international break, going away, New York, LA, South Africa, you'll build enough of a repertoire with each other to be comfy going into business if that's the direction you choose.
Yeah.
So, it's at the time it was what it had to be. But it would never have been what it is if it wasn't for the collective, force that you lot also, listen, I might have pushed, you men pulled.
Yeah.
That's how it needed to work, and that's how it works. So come decision time, I'm going to stick to my word. I stick to my word.
Yeah.
I think from my era as well, like, my word is important. If I say something, I'm going to do it. And if I can't do it, I'm going to, try my best and explain why I couldn't. But this was one that worked out, man. That was the plan. And the plan worked out beautifully. And you know it,
Yeah.
We're all happy with the situation.
Yeah.
Still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a group of friends now doing something together. There's no big investors. There's no big sponsorships or people involved in this company outside of us, man, that you see on screen or in the intros with the edits.
Yeah, it's true, because there is no such thing as, people say, have you made it? I don't know if you've ever been asked that question, or
people think, yeah. I mean, not asked. Yeah, I've been asked it in different ways. People see you on YouTube, they think you're mashing. It's not necessarily like that.
Yeah.
For me, making it, I feel like I've made it because I spend enough time with my son. I can do what I want with my son when I want, and do it comfortably.
Yeah.
Does that mean that if I feel like I've made it now, I'm still going to be in that position 5 years? No.
Yeah.
So it's still about grinding. But for me, making it isn't a certain financial figure.
Yeah.
It's the time and freedom to raise and be around my son and my family. And I'm in a situation where if I don't want to do a match reaction and lie down next to Zekai, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's a blessed place to be. So I've made it in terms of what I like, but everyone's different.
Yeah. You speak about you're always looking forward, onto the next. What is next? What are you looking at going forward? What are your kind of like plans or your things that you want to achieve? Like, have you got like a vision board, or I don't know, you got like a thing in your head that you're just like fixated over? You're like, oh, I need to do that. And because the opportunity is crazy right now,
Yeah. I don't know if this answers your question, but UFC and boxing is still places I need to get into.
Yeah.
And I want to get into. I've been saying it for years, but again, it hasn't been right. Timing, branding, all of these things are important. So that's evolution, in my opinion, eventually down the line. Where do I want to get to? Eventually, I think, listen, the Loose Cannons podcast needs to grow. I want to do more with them. I see the Big Six formula in the Loose Cannons now, like I saw it in Forever Arsenal, for example.
Yeah.
So the future holds, my channel, the Big Six, Loose Cannons, and in terms of football, I'm done. I wouldn't mind even lifestyle, like me and Zekai doing things. I wouldn't mind doing, like, I watch Spanian.
Yeah.
I don't know if you some people might know, but he's someone from Australia or something, an ex-convict, I think. He's done some jail time, but he goes around just different hoods or different restaurants or different towns around the world and just vlogs himself.
Yeah.
And people seem to like it.
I remember in New York, you enjoyed that.
Normal person. Yeah. I enjoyed the Madrid and the Paris vlog. So nothing definitive. I'm happy with the pies that my fingers are in at the moment. And yeah, I'm not worried about other pies until these pies are well and truly eaten and we can enjoy it.
Yeah. But how do you deal with the internet in general? Because obviously it has changed. You said, you got into it quite late, and you're not someone that maybe even wanted to be in it, tried to be in it. You just landed into it.
Yeah.
How have you kind of adapted and dealt with it and ran with it, I guess? Because with how you started, I guess, and you were worried. I remember you saying you were worried about being perceived as a negative. Like, that's not what you wanted to kind of put out there or to be your internet footprint. It was just how you felt. That was your genuine kind of feeling with what it is, and now you're kind of almost relieved, happy that people see the other side of you, like, oh, this is not his brand, this is not what he's known for. He's just giving his emotional, and and then when he's happy, you're gonna see he's very happy. So how did you navigate that, and also like deal with the criticism or the crap that you got whilst you were giving your genuine opinion?
I probably till this day should do more on social media though, for the industry I'm in. I barely post on Instagram, don't use the stories, don't have a TikTok, and Twitter. I mean,
very rare.
Yeah, once every 6 weeks I might tweet. So the social media platforms, I haven't used as much as I should have in this industry. But at the same time, I'm not trying to be the biggest thing in this industry. So where I'm at and where I'm going, I'm happy. So I haven't needed that. And I guess that's a blessing as well, because I've managed to build my thing without the influx of clips everywhere. And okay, I'm doing this video there, but I've got to do it here as well. I've got to say it a different way. I've just been, YouTube is my content. Instagram is my pictures. X, once or twice a month, you'll get a comment. And TikTok, don't even bother. Someone's even offered to do it for free for me, and I don't really care. I'll get into it eventually. By the time this video is out, maybe there is a clip there, because I do have a TikTok because I made one, but I never uploaded. Yeah. So in terms of socials, how have I navigated it? I haven't. YouTube is the one I've relied on, and my creativity, my panel building, being able to identify chemistry. Those are the things, in my opinion, that I've managed to maneuver. Everything else I haven't needed. If I needed Insta and I needed TikTok and I needed these things, then I probably would have. And again, some people might say you do need it to get to the next level. That's fine. If I want to get to the next level, we'll see. Yeah. Let me see where we're at right now off the back of this move and new way forward, and then we'll see. Yeah.
Well, bro, listen, I mean, we're coming towards a close. The Turkish tea is there.
Yeah, you feel. I mean, you've done well.
I'm enjoying it. But the conversation is good. Yeah. So I haven't. It's now cold. Maybe I'll have some more. I might make some more. I finished the other 2 sugar cubes.
Skull, can we get this heated up again?
You're gonna trigger him. His knee is like bouncing. He's gonna slap down all these cameras, and he's gonna lose his head, fam. Listen. No, it's been a pleasure, bro, and you're the first guest on this pod. Is going to be hopefully another strand
well done, man.
On this channel. I didn't really explain.
That's true, we got straight into it.
Yeah, I just got straight into it because the people are here for you.
Did you say welcome to branching out?
I might try and put that in at the beginning somewhere. Maybe we'll do another clip, but welcome to branching out. At the end of the podcast, this is the new podcast. As you can see, this is the conversation.
Maybe you say welcome branching out to end the show.
At the end, yeah. And it's in the name, branching out. Yeah. No football talk. We could have made. Trust me, I was trying my best not to make any like football puns and stuff. I probably did still in the end. But this is all about getting to know, even those that you think know them better. But then even people that I have no idea about that I want to get to know will be on the show. And I think no better way to open it with you, because you helped me launch the last one, which after 2 episodes and the way it was looking, I said, let's not waste these conversations with this quality. And then Skullfuggery arrives, and now this is insane, man. This is a dream for me. I always tell you that. Do you know what I mean? This is a dream for me. I really do love making this kind of content and this kind of level that we're doing here.
And this motivates me as well, like, and so
it's really nice, man.
Like, what you're doing is big. I spoke of Saeed earlier, but equally, like what you've done over the years, you wasn't doing YouTube like that when you first started Big Six, and now you're branching out, bro.
I appreciate
the set. I mean, the whole room, like, you're doing your thing, well deserved, and long may it continue.
Yeah, thank you, man.
You're on that death row contract with Big Six.
That 12-year Caicedo contract right there.
Yeah, bro. Man knows where you live too.
The people are asking, you keep crashing into my watch-alongs. I'm like, yo, what's going on here, people? To end, you're going to tell the people why the Big Six and my studio and you crashing in and walking in and we're storming Saeed reviews. And can you explain why does that even happen? What's going on here? Because they keep asking.
Local,
you saw the mob in the comments.
We're local.
We're local.
One thing I don't get is why people are assuming we live together. I'm a 37-year-old man with a family, a child, and you think I'm just living with Matisse and Tobes. Like, just respect.
respect.
It's a studio.
Yeah.
It's away from this location, your watch-along location. It's away from, your bedroom.
Yeah, it's not my bedroom.
It's not in the same premises. So yeah, that's it. Big Six Manor.
There you go. Big Six Manor, people. But is this in my basement where the watch-alongs are? Yes, it is. It's the same room. But we can change things up. Do you know what I mean?
Flip it around, man.
Yeah, man. Flip it around and fold it and pack it away. So, Turkish, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for the Turkish tea.
Don't worry, man.
You know
we're
what I'm saying?
Put that back on upstairs. And
Absolutely.
We're gonna bill it and
Billet, the icy pollen connoisseur. Thank you so much for
like
joining us. Appreciate it. Big up to you, bro.
Love.
Come on, people.